What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the Liverpool-Napoli pre-season post-match analysis video. What did you think of this game? I think this was comfortably Liverpool's worst performance for a long time, and the worst performance in this pre-season. Definitely Liverpool suffered a 3-0 loss. Frankly, Napoli fully deserved their win. They were just faster, stronger, better in almost every department, and I'm actually a little bit worried for the start of the season, because even though we are missing our best 4 players, including Alisson, the goalkeeper, and Salah, Mane, Firmino, this was still a Liverpool first team which could line up, especially for the first 2-3 weeks of the season, and this was just not good enough. Liverpool, it looked like the players were in their legs were in concrete. They just didn't have the cutting edge. They weren't sharp enough, and I think Jurgen Klopp will be ripping into these players, because this was just not the standard that the Liverpool fans expect. And the Liverpool fans turned out in numbers in Scotland. This was played in Edinburgh, and Liverpool, you know, went down pretty early on, 2-0 down, and the defense was just very exposed. Both Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson were bombing forward so much, and it looked like Liverpool had a very hard training session before the game. I'm not sure if that was the case or not, but especially Trent and Robertson just failed to track back, and Insigne had so much joy on that left-hand side of the Napoli attack that Matip just couldn't deal with him. The goals weren't really the fault of Matip or Mignolet or Van Dijk. It was just a collectively not good enough defensive performance. If Liverpool start the season defending like this, we are in massive trouble, because even though you could argue that the attack wasn't the first choice attack, the defense was the first choice defense, and it was just not solid enough, not good enough. We were all over the park. Insigne and Milik scored 2 good goals. The second goal coming from Milik. 4 yards around Milik. There was no Liverpool player. Trent Alexander-Arnold was again caught up the pitch at the second goal, and Oxlade-Chamberlain just failed to close down Insigne, who is a very dangerous player. Liverpool already should know about that, because Insigne scored the winner when Napoli beat Liverpool, and then Matip didn't know whether to close down Insigne or to mark Milik. In the end, he did neither. Van Dijk, of course, was marking at the far post, another Napoli player, so there was nobody on Milik in the end, and he scored quite comfortably. And Wijnaldum scored a brilliant goal in the 45th minute, but it was a good yard offside, so Liverpool couldn't even score a goal. The only bright spark was Harry Wilson in the second half. He was very lively, and he was inches away from scoring an absolute belter of a goal. The Napoli goalkeeper made a world-class save. And also, I would like to see Ryan Brewster play on the wing instead of Oxlade-Chamberlain, who looks miles off the pace. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain looks like it will take a long time for him to get back his sharpness, his fitness properly. And I think in the next game against, I think we are playing a Lyon, who just beat Arsenal at the Emirates, so in Arsenal's home stadium, so that will be another tough game. I would like to see Ryan Brewster on the wing. I know that Jurgen Klopp so far have only played Brewster in the middle, but I would like to see an attack of Wijnaldum, Origi and Ryan Brewster up front, just to see how Brewster adapts to a winger position, and I would like to see what he can do. Napoli scored the 3rd goal in the 52nd minute. Again, Insigne cutting inside past Trent Alexander-Arnold, shooting. The goalkeeper Mignolet made the save, but then another Napoli player just tugged it home, the rebound into the empty net. So that was that. A very poor performance, and I wanted to show you, or at least to tell you, what Jurgen Klopp said after the game. And this is what he said. I could say so much, but I think it makes no sense if I say it at all. It was obvious. That's what Jurgen Klopp told LFC TV after the game. We started really well, and then boom, we concede. That's it. We were not patient enough in the right moments, and we didn't play enough football in others. We suffered physically in some moments. Finally, this period is over. I never had a situation like this without 6 players making a complete pre-season. It's just strange. The best news is that Man City have no clue who they will face next week in the Community Shield, because we will probably surprise ourselves as well. And yeah, it's true that Shaqiri and Naby Keita were also out injured so far in pre-season. They started training today, so they will join the squad in Evian for the France training camp, and that's where Liverpool will really work on their sharpness. This is what Jurgen Klopp said. They trained already once with us, one session. They are not here, but they will come tomorrow, Naby Keita and Shaqiri. They should be a step further. Hopefully they can play a couple of minutes on Wednesday. That's 5 of 6 players back, which is a good number. He includes includes Firmino and Salah and Alisson in that bunch as well. They also join the Evian training camp in France, but Liverpool will be without Sadio Mane for one more week, and I think if Salah and Firmino can get up to speed very quickly, they could start the first Premier League game. But Mane, I'm not so sure, because Mane arrives just a few days before the start of the Premier League, which is against Norwich on Friday. And Naby Keita and Shaqiri are definitely back in training as well, so I'm very, very happy with that. And Liverpool's shot accuracy were just dreadful in this one. We only had 3 shots on target from 12 shots, that including blocked shots as well. And Napoli, on the other hand, had 7 shots on target from 8 shots in total, and they were very efficient with their shooting, like scoring 3 goals out of 8 shots. That's very, very efficient shooting, and I think Liverpool have to step it up. They really have to step it up, because if we will play like this at the start of the season, we will lose to Man City, we will lose to Chelsea. That could be 2 trophies already gone, and those are very, very important games, because the way that Liverpool are playing in pre-season, if we don't start the season with a few wins, that could really dent the confidence. And if we suffer a few defeats early on in the Premier League, that could be the title already gone, because I can see Manchester City again having a 90-95 point season, or maybe even more. Liverpool cannot afford to fall back further behind early on, and we have to keep pace with Manchester City. Also, we want to start off the season winning trophies, because we have 2 cup finals in the first 3 games. That means 2 trophies up the bag, up for grabs in the first 3 games. So I really hope that Liverpool can get their sharpness back in Evian. Of course, the results are not really important in pre-season. I don't pay too much attention to the results. I'm more worried about the performances, because Liverpool really looked lackadaisical. We looked like we were way off the pace in terms of fitness and physical and mental concentration as well. I think Liverpool needs to step it up in the next week in the France training camp, because this is just not good enough. We are not sharp enough. Our fitness is not there. I mean, most of the teams, most of the good teams that we played in this preseason, they looked further ahead. Physically, they looked sharper, and they looked just more switched on. And I'm not sure what the issue is. Maybe Liverpool are overtraining the players or something else. But I think Jurgen Klopp has to figure this out sooner or later. Otherwise, we will start the season not in top form, and that's not what you want to see. And Mike Ashley gave an extended interview in the Daily Mail about many different topics, and he actually spoke about a range of issues. One of the things that came up was shirt sponsorship, and he claimed that Liverpool could sign a deal worth £100 million soon. In May 2018, it was claimed that Sports Pro Media It was claimed by Sports Pro Media that Standard Chartered, the current Liverpool shirt sponsors, had secured a 4-year deal worth a total of £160 million. So a £100 million renewal would not be until 2022, but Ashley claimed that he would only be able to secure £10 million per year for Newcastle, meaning a £90 million gap to those at the top. If that is indeed true, that would mean even more money available to be pumped into Liverpool in the near future, which can go towards the Anfield expansion and also buying new players as well. And yes, it's true that FSG have done an exceptional job of transforming the fortunes of Liverpool off the pitch, and that led to success on the pitch, but I think we need to keep strengthening, otherwise we will be left behind by other clubs. So I really hope that Liverpool invest into their squad, and maybe this dreadful pre-season run of performances and also bad results, maybe it will spark something in Jurgen Klopp. Maybe he will realize that Liverpool need more strength in depth. Our second team in terms of our attack and some of our midfielders, especially our attack, our second team is not good enough to keep up with Manchester City. And frankly, if Man City weren't so good, if they weren't so strong, I would be fine with this Liverpool squad going into the new season. But because Manchester City are this relentless winning machine, an almost perfect squad with loads of world-class players, even on the bench, Liverpool have to strive for new heights. We have to strive to be even better than last season, and that means that we have to sign more big players and strengthen the squad. But the good news is that Manchester City could also miss 7 first-team key players, according to the Manchester Evening News. Fernandinho, Gabriel Jesus and Ederson all played in the Brazil Copa America victory, and they are not yet back in the Man City squad. Agüero and Nicolas Otamendi also played for Argentina in the 3rd place match, so they went far. They are not back either. Riyad Mahrez, just like Sadio Mane, played in the Africa Cup of Nations final, so he will be also missing the Community Shield final. And also French left back Benjamin Mendy is not expected to return from injury until mid-August. But of course, Man City have still a lot of players, an incredibly strong squad, new signing, Rodri for example as well. So I really hope that those big players will be missed by Manchester City, and that would mean hopefully that Liverpool have a bigger chance of winning that Community Shield final, but we shall wait and see. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, see you later guys, goodbye.